Captain Daniel Price stood in the observation deck of Sanctuary Station and watched the stars. His reflection in the glass showed a tired man. 15 years of diplomatic service had worn him down more than any battle ever could. Behind him, Lieutenant Maya Brooks checked her security reports for the third time that hour. Another colony attacked, Maya said quietly. The Vrexians hit the farming settlement on New Haven. Early reports say thousands dead. Daniel closed his eyes. That made 12 attacks in 3 years. 12 times that human colonies had been raided, burned, and destroyed. 12 times that Earth had asked the Galactic Coalition for help. 12 times they had been refused. What did the Coalition say? Daniel asked, though he already knew the answer. The usual. They claim we are too aggressive. They say we should prove we are civilized before they protect us. Maya's voice was bitter. How many more people have to die before they see we are trying? Commander Luis Garcia entered the observation deck. His military uniform was crisp, but his face showed the same exhaustion they all felt. The Earth Council has made a decision. They want you to deliver a message to the Coalition Assembly, Daniel. Daniel turned from the window. What kind of message? A final warning. Luis handed him a data pad. You are to tell them exactly this: stop attacking or we'll stop being polite. Maya laughed, but there was no humor in it. They will think it is a joke. They already believe we are weak. That is their mistake, Luis said. The Council has authorized a demonstration. We have 48 hours to show the galaxy what happens when Earth stops being polite. Daniel read the orders on the pad. His hands started to shake. Are they certain about this? Once we start, there is no going back. They are certain. 15 years is long enough. We joined the Coalition in good faith. We followed their rules. We limited our military. We showed restraint when they insulted us. We stayed calm when they called us primitive warmongers. And what did it get us? Dead colonists and more insults. Ambassador Kelvin Ross joined them. The old diplomat looked older than usual. I spent my entire career believing in peaceful solutions. I still do. But peace requires both sides to want it. The Coalition does not want peace with us. They want submission. They want us to accept being attacked without fighting back. So we fight? Maya asked. We remind them why restraint is a gift, not a weakness, Kelvin said. We show them what we have been holding back all these years. Daniel looked at each of them. These were good people. They had all worked hard to prove that humanity deserved respect. They had smiled through insults. They had stayed professional when aliens spat at them in corridors. They had written polite letters after each attack, asking pleas for justice. When do I address the assembly? Daniel asked. In 2 hours. I have already requested an emergency session. They agreed, though they think it is just another human complaint. Kelvin pulled up a holographic display. The entire Coalition will be watching. Every species will see what you say. Daniel studied the display. The Galactic Coalition had 73 member species. Humanity was the newest and least respected. Most of the older species came from safe worlds where predators were small and evolution had been gentle. They looked at humans and saw dangerous creatures from a death world. They feared human strength and human stubbornness, but fear and respect were different things. The Coalition feared what humans might do, so they tried to keep humanity weak and under control. They never stopped to respect what humans had already chosen not to do. The Vrexians are bragging about the attack, Maya said, reading her data pad. They posted videos on the Galactic Network. They are showing our dead like trophies. How is the Coalition responding? Daniel asked. They are not. 3 species have officially stated that the attack was probably provoked. 5 more have suggested that humans should leave Coalition space if we cannot handle the dangers. None of them have condemned the Vrexians. Luis slammed his fist on the table. Enough, Daniel, go give them the warning. Let us see how they laugh when we stop playing their games. 2 hours later, Daniel stood before the Coalition Assembly. The chamber was enormous, designed to hold representatives from all 73 species. The seats rose in curved tiers, and at the center was the speaking platform where Daniel now stood. Thousands of alien eyes watched him, some with curiosity, most with contempt. The assembly speaker, a tall insect-like being named Zrix, clicked his mandibles. The human delegation has requested this emergency session. We grant them 5 minutes to speak. 5 minutes. After 12 attacks and thousands of deaths, they gave him 5 minutes. Daniel activated his data pad. Images of New Haven appeared on every screen in the chamber. Burning homes, dead families, children who would never grow up. The chamber fell silent. 3 days ago, Vrexian raiders attacked New Haven Colony. The death count is now 4,218 humans. This is the 12th such attack in 3 years. We have asked for coalition protection 12 times. 12 times we have been refused. The attacks were not proven to be unprovoked, Zrix interrupted. Humans are naturally aggressive. Perhaps your colonies threatened the Vrexians. Our colonies are farmers. They grow food. They have no weapons. They had no defenses because the coalition promised that member species would be protected. Daniel's voice stayed calm. We believed that promise. Then you were foolish, said a representative from the Kvalesh species. Humans come from a death world. You are predators. Why should we protect predators? Other representatives clicked, buzzed, or whistled their agreement. To them, this was obvious. Humans were dangerous. Humans did not deserve protection, Daniel smiled. It was not a friendly smile. I am here to deliver a message from the Earth Council. It is simple and clear. The chamber waited. Daniel let the silence stretch. Then he spoke the words that would change everything. Stop attacking or we'll stop being polite. For a moment, there was complete silence. Then the chamber exploded with noise. Aliens laughed. They buzzed with amusement. They clicked their mandibles in what passed for mockery among their species. Zrix raised his appendages for quiet. Is this a threat? Does humanity threaten the coalition? It is a warning, Daniel said. We have been polite for 15 years. We have followed your rules. We have accepted your insults. We have buried our dead and asked nicely for justice. But our patience has limits. What will you do? Zrix asked. Attack the coalition? You are one species against 73. Your military is small. Your technology is inferior. You are nothing. We will show you what happens when we stop being polite, Daniel said. You have 48 hours to issue a formal condemnation of the Vrexian attacks and guarantee the protection of human colonies. If you do not, you will see what Earth has been holding back. More laughter, more mockery. The assembly speaker dismissed him with a wave. This session is ended. The human request is denied. Daniel walked out of the chamber. Maya and Luis were waiting in the corridor. They laughed, Maya said. Good, Daniel replied. It will make the demonstration more effective. Luis checked his military communicator. Fleet Admiral Patricia Morgan sends her regards. She says the ships are ready. She has been waiting 15 years for this authorization. Then let's not keep her waiting any longer, Daniel said. Send the signal. Operation Reminder begins now. In orbit around Earth, 900 warships that had been listed as cargo vessels powered up their weapons. Across human space, thousands of defense platforms that had been labeled as communication arrays activated their targeting systems. And in the deep black between stars, ships that the coalition did not know existed began to move. Earth had been polite for 15 years. That time was over. Admiral Patricia Morgan had waited 15 years for this moment. She stood on the bridge of the EAS Retribution and watched her crew work with quiet efficiency. Around her ship, 899 other vessels moved into formation. They looked like ordinary cargo haulers and transport ships. That was exactly what they were supposed to look like. All ships report ready, Admiral, said Lieutenant Jacob Wells from the pilot station. Awaiting your orders. Drop the diplomatic configurations, Patricia ordered. Let them see what we really are. Across the fleet, panels fell away from ship hulls. Weapons emerged from hidden compartments. Shield generators powered up. In 30 seconds, the fleet transformed from a collection of merchant vessels into a proper battle group. Signal from Earth Command, said Senator Craig Mitchell from the communication station. He was not military, but the Earth Council had sent him to witness this moment. We have confirmation. The Coalition Assembly has officially denied our request. They refuse to condemn the Vrexian attacks. Then we proceed as planned, Patricia said. She touched a button on her command chair. This is Admiral Morgan to all ships. Operation Reminder is now active. Humanity has been polite for 15 years. Today, we show the galaxy what impolite looks like. Dr. Helen Carter worked at the science station. She had designed many of the weapon systems the fleet now carried. Target data is locked. The Vrexian raiding fleet is heading toward the mining colony on Fairhaven. They will arrive in 3 hours. We will arrive in 90 minutes, Patricia said. Engage jump drives. The human fleet vanished from Earth orbit. The Coalition had given humanity jump drive technology 10 years ago. What they did not know was that human engineers had improved the design. Where Coalition ships could jump 5 light years at a time, Human ships could now jump 15. The fleet appeared in the Fairhaven system between the colony and the approaching Vrexian raiders. 40 Vrexian warships came out of their jump expecting an easy target. Instead, they found 900 human vessels waiting. "Open a channel to the Vrexian commander," Patricia ordered. "Let us be polite one more time." The main screen showed a Vrexian captain. His scales were decorated with kill markings. He had attacked human colonies before. "What is this? Humans do not have warships." "We do now," Patricia said calmly. "You are here to attack our mining colony. We are here to stop you. Withdraw immediately and we will let you live." The Vrexian laughed. 40 warships against your merchant fleet? You are fools. We will destroy you and then the colony. We offered you a choice, Patricia said. Remember that." She closed the channel and looked at her crew. "Target all 40 ships. Fire when ready." The human fleet opened fire. The battle lasted 17 minutes. Human weapons had been designed from the beginning for one purpose: to fight ships better than their own. While the Coalition had centuries of peace and comfortable technology, humans had come from a world where war was common. Every weapon system had been tested. Every tactic had been practiced. For 15 years, humanity had trained in secret while the Coalition laughed at them. The Vrexian shields failed in the first minute. Their weapons could not lock onto human ships, which moved faster than anything the Coalition had seen. Their armor could not stop human kinetic rounds, which hit with the force of meteors, and their communications were jammed by human electronic warfare. When it was over, 38 Vrexian ships drifted dead in space. 2 had managed to surrender. Not a single human ship had been scratched. "Casualties?" Patricia asked. "None on our side. The Vrexians have 3,000 survivors in the disabled ships. What are your orders?" Patricia considered. Earth had authorized her to destroy the raiders completely, but she wanted to send a different message. Rescue them. Bring them aboard. Give them medical care. We are still polite. For now. "Admiral, we are receiving thousands of communication requests," Senator Mitchell said. "Every Coalition species is demanding to know what happened. The Galactic News Network wants to broadcast the battle. Let them," Patricia said. "Dr. Carter, did you record everything?" "Every second, every angle," Helen confirmed. "I have already prepared the data package. Send it to every Coalition world, every news outlet, every government. Let them all see exactly what happened." Patricia stood and addressed her crew. "You have all done excellent work today. This battle will be remembered. But remember this: we did not attack out of anger. We did not seek revenge. We protected our people. That is what good militaries do." The recording spread across the galaxy faster than light. Within hours, every species in the Coalition had seen the battle. They watched human ships move with impossible speed. They saw human weapons tear through Vrexian armor like paper. They heard Patricia's calm voice offering surrender before the battle and mercy after it. Most importantly, they saw the timestamp. 17 minutes from first shot to complete victory. On Sanctuary Station, Daniel Price watched the news feeds with Maya Brooks and Luis Garcia. Every channel showed the same thing: shock and fear. "The Kresh Dominion is calling for an emergency assembly," Maya reported. "They want humanity expelled from the Coalition immediately. They claim we violated peace treaties by hiding our military strength." "The Tholar Federation disagrees," Luis said, reading another feed. "They are calling for formal negotiations with Earth. So are the Minara Collective and the Presh Commonwealth." Daniel watched as various alien officials appeared on screens, all talking at once. Some were angry. Some were afraid. Some were trying to calculate how to use this new information to their advantage. "We have a message for the Coalition," Daniel said. "Send it to all major networks." The message was simple. It showed Admiral Morgan standing on her bridge, surrounded by rescued Vrexian survivors receiving medical treatment from human doctors. "This was polite," Patricia said in the recording. "We defended our colony. We defeated our attackers. We captured them alive. We are now providing medical care to the wounded. This is what polite looks like for humanity." She paused and looked directly at the camera. "If the attacks continue, we will stop being polite. Next time there will be no prisoners, no rescue, no mercy. We have shown you that we can win. Now we are showing you that we choose to be civilized. Do not mistake that choice for weakness." The recording ended with a view of the human fleet. Every ship had its weapons visible now. There was no more pretending to be harmless merchants. The message was clear. Earth had teeth and Earth knew how to use them. The Coalition Assembly has called an emergency session, Kelvin Ross said, entering their meeting room. They want to discuss the situation. Every member species will attend. What is their mood? Daniel asked. Terrified, Kelvin replied. They spent 15 years thinking humans were weak primitives who could be pushed around. In 17 minutes we destroyed that illusion completely. Now they do not know what to think. Good, Luis said. Fear can lead to respect. Or it can lead to war. We need to make sure it leads to the right one. Maya pulled up tactical displays. We are detecting increased military activity in Coalition space. 6 species have mobilized their fleets. They are not moving toward Earth, but they are moving. They are protecting themselves, Daniel said. They finally understand that we are not harmless. Now we need to show them that we are not mindless aggressors either. The next phase begins tomorrow, Luis said. We have intelligence on Coalition activities. 15 years of being treated like children meant they ignored us. They talked freely around human diplomats. They shared information thinking we were too primitive to understand. We have been listening to everything, and now we use that information, Daniel said. We show them exactly what we know, and we show them what we are willing to do about it. On the bridge of the Retribution, Patricia Morgan looked at the captured Vrexian commander. He was receiving treatment for his injuries in the ship's medical bay. Why did you not kill us? He asked in broken English. We would have killed all of you. I know, Patricia said. That is the difference between us. We fight when we must. You fight because you enjoy it. Remember this, Mercy. Tell your people what happened here. Tell them that humans offered peace and you chose war. Tell them how that choice ended. The Vrexian looked at her with something like understanding. Your people are more dangerous than we believed. Not because you can kill, because you can choose not to. Exactly, Patricia said. Remember that when you go home, and pray that your leaders are smarter than you were. Across the galaxy, the Coalition began to realize that everything had changed. The humans were not the weak junior species they had assumed. Earth had been holding back, and now everyone knew it. The only question was, what would humanity do next? Chancellor Gregory Palmer walked into the Coalition Central Council chamber, like a man going to war. Behind him came Major Lisa Hamilton, Ambassador Trent Hughes, and Colonel Nina Vasquez. They carried data pads filled with information that would shake the foundation of galactic politics. The chamber was full. Every Coalition species had sent their highest representatives. Fear filled the air like smoke. The massive display screens showed images of the destroyed Vrexian fleet, playing on repeat. The emergency session will begin, announced Speaker Zrix. His mandibles clicked nervously. The human delegation has requested to present evidence. We grant them 1 hour. We will need less, Gregory said. He activated his data pad and sent files to every screen in the chamber. For 15 years, humanity has been attacked. 12 major incidents, hundreds of smaller raids, thousands of human deaths. We asked for Coalition protection and were denied. We have explained our reasons, said the Kevalesh representative. Humans are aggressive. You come from a death world. You cannot be trusted. Cannot be trusted? Gregory smiled coldly. Let me show you what trust looks like in the Coalition. The screens changed. They now showed communication logs, financial records, and secret meeting transcripts. Colonel Nina stepped forward to explain. For the past 8 years, 6 Coalition species have been funding the Vrexian raids. The Kresh Dominion provided weapons. The Tholar provided intelligence on human colony locations. The Benelex Consortium provided ships. The Qualix provided supplies. The Frexen provided navigation data. And the Nerthal provided political cover. The chamber erupted in noise. Aliens shouted denials. Others demanded proof. Nina waited calmly for silence. We have recordings of every meeting, every transaction, every secret agreement. She played an audio file. It was the Kresh ambassador speaking with a Vrexian war chief. In this recording from 2 years ago, the Kresh ambassador tells the Vrexians exactly which human colonies have the weakest defenses. The Kresh representative stood. This is fabricated. Humans are lying to divide the Coalition. We have video as well, Nina said. The screen showed the same ambassador in a secret meeting, his mouth forming the exact words from the audio. Shall I show more? We have 300 hours of recordings. Gregory watched the chamber descend into chaos. Representatives accused each other. Allies became enemies in seconds. The careful political balance of the coalition was collapsing. Why? Asked a representative from the Manara Collective, one of the few species that had not participated. Why would you do this? Why attack humans? The Kresh representative finally sat down, defeated. It was a test. We wanted to see how humans would respond to constant pressure. We believed that eventually your violent nature would emerge. You would attack innocent targets. You would commit atrocities. You would prove you were the monsters we feared. Instead, we proved we could show restraint, Gregory said. We buried our dead and asked for justice through proper channels. We followed your rules even when your rules killed our people. And now you want revenge, Zrick said quietly. We want justice, Gregory corrected. We want reparations for the families who lost loved ones. We want guaranteed protection as full coalition members. And we want the species who funded these attacks to admit what they did. And if we refuse? The Kresh representative asked. Then we stop asking politely, Gregory said. He nodded to Major Lisa Hamilton. Lisa activated tactical displays. Earth now has active military operations in 47 systems across coalition space. We are not asking for permission. We are not seeking approval. We are doing what the coalition should have done years ago. The displays showed human forces attacking pirate bases, destroying criminal operations, and shutting down illegal weapons facilities. Every target was in coalition space. Every operation violated coalition sovereignty, and every species in the chamber knew they could not stop it. This is an invasion, the Kovalesh representative protested. You are violating our territory. We are cleaning up your mess, Lisa replied. Every base we have destroyed was known to coalition authorities. Every criminal operation was documented. Every weapons facility was reported to your security forces. You did nothing because these criminals paid you bribes. You let them operate because they did not attack your worlds. Ambassador Trent Hughes stepped forward. Some of you are ready to do the right thing. Some of you want to work with humanity as true partners. We welcome that. We are prepared to sign new treaties with any species that chooses cooperation. And those who do not cooperate? Asked the Manara representative. We'll find that Earth is very good at making life difficult, Trent said simply. We have mapped every trade route. We know every resource shortage. We understand every political weakness. For 15 years, you treated us like children who understood nothing. We were listening. We were learning. And now we know everything. Gregory let that information sink in. Around the chamber, representatives whispered to each other. They were realizing the scope of human intelligence operations. Every careless word spoken near a human diplomat. Every secret shared thinking humans were too primitive to understand. Every plan discussed assuming humans would never matter. All of it had been recorded. All of it had been analyzed. Earth knew the Coalition's secrets better than the Coalition knew its own. What are your terms? Zrix asked finally. What does Earth want? First, the 6 species who funded the attacks will pay reparations. 5 billion credits per human killed. That is 18 trillion credits total. Gregory did not blink at the enormous sum. Second, all coalition military forces will include human observers with veto power over operations near human space. Third, any attack on a human target will be treated as an attack on the entire coalition, with immediate military response. Those terms are impossible, the Kresh representative said. We cannot agree. Then we continue with impolite operations, Gregory said. Major Hamilton, what is our next target? The Kresh military supply depot in the Nexus system. It is where they store their quantum displacement weapons. We have ships in position now. The Kresh representative's skin changed color, a sign of extreme distress. That depot is inside our home system. You would not dare. Test us, Lisa said coldly. Please test us. The chamber fell silent. Everyone understood what was happening. Earth was not bluffing. They had the capability to strike anywhere. They had the intelligence to know where to strike. And they had 15 years of anger motivating them. We need time to discuss, Zrick said. This session is paused for 6 hours. When we return, we will vote on the human terms. The coalition representatives filed out of the chamber. Gregory and his team remained behind. They will try to form a military alliance against us, Nina said. The Kresh will convince others that we are the threat. Let them try, Gregory said. We have already reached out to 30 species privately. Many of them are tired of Kresh dominance. Many of them see opportunity in aligning with Earth. Trent nodded. The Manara want a trade agreement. The Presh want military training. The Soltex want protection from the Kresh. The coalition is not as united as it pretends. Good, Gregory said. We are not trying to destroy the coalition. We are trying to fix it. But first we have to break it. Across coalition space, human ships continued their operations. They hit targets with perfect precision. No civilians were harmed. No innocent facilities were damaged. Every strike was surgical, professional, and devastating. The pirates who had operated for decades with coalition protection found themselves hunted by human special forces. The corrupt officials who had taken bribes found their secret accounts frozen by human cyber operations. The weapons dealers who had supplied raiders found their shipments intercepted by human naval patrols. In 72 hours, Earth dismantled criminal networks that had existed for centuries. They did it without asking permission. They did it without causing unnecessary casualties. And they did it in a way that made every coalition species realize that their defenses were meaningless. Captain Daniel Price watched the news reports from Sanctuary Station. They are afraid of us now. Fear is better than contempt, Maya said. But it is not the same as respect. Respect will come, Daniel replied. Once they realize that we could have destroyed them but chose not to. Once they understand that our strength is matched by our restraint. That is when real peace becomes possible. And if they do not learn that lesson? Maya asked. Then we keep teaching it, Daniel said, as many times as necessary. In the Coalition Council chamber, representatives began to return. They had 6 hours to discuss. 6 hours to realize that their comfortable galaxy had changed forever. 6 hours to decide if they would accept the new reality or try to fight it. The vote would come soon. And regardless of the result, nothing would ever be the same. Earth had stopped being polite. Now the galaxy would learn what that really meant. Captain Samuel Wright stood on the bridge of the hospital ship Mercy's Hand and watched the refugee convoy struggle through space. 300 civilian vessels from 7 different species, all fleeing the chaos that had erupted in the Nexus sector. The coalition was tearing itself apart and innocent people were caught in the middle. Captain, we have multiple ships with engine failures. Medical emergencies on at least 40 vessels. They need help now, said Dr. Karen Lopez from the medical bay. Send rescue teams to the disabled ships. Prepare to take on wounded. Samuel opened communications to the convoy. This is Captain Wright of the Earth vessel Mercy's Hand. We are here to help. Any ship needing assistance should signal us immediately. The response was not what he expected. Several ships tried to flee. Others powered up weapons. Fear made them dangerous. They think we are here to attack them, said Commander Brandon Clark from the tactical station. The news has everyone terrified of human ships. Then we show them something different, Samuel said. He broadcast on all frequencies, using translation software for each species. We are not here to fight. We are here to provide medical care and supplies. We have food, medicine, and repair equipment. No one will be harmed. You have Earth's word. Slowly, carefully, the convoy began to respond. A Vrexian transport carrying 300 civilians had a critical life support failure. A Qualix medical ship was out of supplies. A Benelex cargo hauler carrying families had lost its navigation systems. The Mercy's Hand and her support ships moved through the convoy like guardian angels. Human engineers fixed engines. Human doctors treated the wounded. Human supply officers distributed food and medicine. They asked for nothing in return. On the transport bridge, Samuel watched his crew work. This was the other side of human nature. The side that built hospitals and schools. The side that ran toward danger to save others. The side that the coalition had never been allowed to see. Captain, we are receiving a priority message from Ambassador Victor Hayes, said the communications officer. He is negotiating with the Minara Collective. They want to formalize an alliance with Earth. Tell him good luck, Samuel said. We have our own work here. Ambassador Victor Hayes sat across from 3 Minara council members in a quiet meeting room on their homeworld. The Minara were insectoid beings known for their logical thinking and fair dealing. They had never participated in attacks on human colonies. Why should we ally with Earth? Asked Councilmember Thex. You have just demonstrated that you can destroy any of us. Why would we trust you? Because we could have destroyed you and did not, Victor said simply. We had 15 years of attacks, thousands of dead. We could have responded with genocide. Instead, we responded with precision. We targeted only those who attacked us or helped our enemies. We spared civilians. We provided warnings. Even now, our hospital ships are helping refugees created by this conflict. The other species say you are manipulating us with kindness, said Council Member Vrala. They claim this is a strategy to divide the coalition. It is, Victor admitted. But that does not make it false. We are showing you two faces of humanity. We can be your greatest enemy or your strongest ally. You get to choose which one you meet. The Minara Council members looked at each other. Their antennae twitched in silent communication. What would this alliance include? Asked Council Member Exon. Trade agreements favoring both our species, joint military exercises, cultural exchanges, and most importantly, protection. Any species that allies with Earth will be defended as if they were human colonies. Victor pulled up documents on his datapad. We are offering the same agreement to 6 other species. Some have already accepted. And those who refuse? Frala asked. We'll find that the galaxy has changed. Earth is not going away. We are not going to accept being second-class members anymore. Species can adapt to this new reality or cling to the old way and become irrelevant. Victor leaned forward. The coalition as you knew it is dead. What comes next depends on who chooses to build it with us. The council members discussed in their own language for several minutes. Finally, Thex spoke. We will agree to preliminary discussions, but we want assurances that Earth will not abuse its power. Write the terms yourself, Victor said. We will negotiate fairly. Unlike some species, we actually want partners, not subjects. While diplomats negotiated and hospital ships saved lives, the military situation continued to evolve. The Kresh Dominion had convinced 4 other species to form a defensive pact against Earth. They called themselves the Preservation Coalition and claimed to be protecting galactic freedom. On the bridge of the Retribution, Admiral Patricia Morgan reviewed the intelligence reports with Colonel Nina Vasquez. The Preservation Coalition is moving ships into defensive positions around Kresh space, Nina said. They have about 600 vessels total. They think that is enough to deter us from further action. They are wrong, Patricia said. But we do not need to prove it with violence. Not yet. What about internal divisions? Growing rapidly. The Kresh military command is split. Half want to negotiate with Earth, half want to fight. The civilian government is in chaos. 3 regional governors have already opened secret communications with our diplomats. The Vrexians? Patricia asked. Their government collapsed 2 days ago. Reformers have taken control. They are asking for peace talks. Apparently seeing their raiders defeated so easily made many Vrexians question why they were fighting in the first place. Patricia smiled. Good. What about the species that funded the attacks? All of them are facing internal pressure. Their populations are asking why their governments provoked Earth. The Benelux Consortium is trying to arrange reparations quietly. The Frexen want to negotiate terms. Only the Kresh are still defiant. Let them be defiant, Patricia said. Pride is expensive. They will learn. On a Vrexian civilian transport in the refugee convoy, a young Vrexian mother named Shala held her sick child. The ship's medical supplies were gone. Her daughter had a fever that would not break. She was losing hope. Then human doctors arrived. They came onto the transport wearing medical gear with Earth insignia. Shala's first instinct was to hide her child. Humans were enemies. That was what she had been taught. But the doctors moved through the transport with gentle efficiency. They treated everyone regardless of species. Dr. Karen Lopez knelt beside Shala and examined her daughter. She has a bacterial infection, simple to treat if we act now. Karen pulled out a medical scanner and medication. This will make her better. She will be fine. Why? Shala asked in broken English. We are Vrexians. Your enemy. Your government was our enemy. Karen said gently. You are just a mother with a sick child. That makes you someone we help, not someone we hurt. She administered the medication and showed Shala how to care for her daughter. Within an hour, the fever began to drop. Within 6 hours, the child was smiling and playing with other children on the transport. Shala recorded a message on her personal communicator and sent it to the Vrexian public networks. She showed her healthy daughter. She showed the human doctors who had saved her. She told the truth about what humanity had done. They could have killed us, she said in the recording. They had reason to hate us. Our raiders murdered their people, but they chose to save us instead. They chose mercy. That is not the action of monsters. That is the action of people far better than we were told. The recording spread across Vrexian space, then across the coalition. More refugees shared their stories. More civilians spoke about being helped by human ships. The narrative was changing. Captain Samuel Wright watched the broadcasts with satisfaction. This is what will win the peace. Not our weapons, not our threats, but showing them that we can be better than our worst impulses. Some species will never accept it, Brandon said. The Kresh leadership especially. They are too invested in seeing us as the enemy. Then they will learn the hard way, Samuel replied. But every civilian we help, every life we save, that is one more person who knows the truth about humanity. Eventually, the truth wins. On Sanctuary Station, Daniel Price met with Maya Brooks and Luis Garcia. The coalition vote was approaching. The chamber would reconvene in 12 hours. We have confirmation that 28 species will vote in favor of our terms, Maya reported. Another 15 are undecided. The rest will vote against. 28 is enough for a majority, Luis said. We win the vote. But we lose the unity, Daniel said. A divided coalition serves no one. Then we give them a reason to unite, Maya suggested. Show them that working with humanity benefits everyone. Daniel looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, human ships were saving lives. Other human ships were dismantling criminal networks. Diplomats were building new alliances. Soldiers were ready to fight if needed. Humanity was showing the galaxy every face at once. Warrior and healer. Destroyer and builder. Aggressive and compassionate. We are who we have always been, Daniel said quietly. The galaxy just never wanted to see all of it before. They wanted us to be one thing, either harmless or dangerous. They could not accept that we are both, and now they have to accept it, Luis said, or become irrelevant. The vote would come soon, but regardless of the outcome, humanity had already changed the galaxy forever. Some species would adapt, others would resist. The Coalition Central Council chamber filled slowly. Representatives from 73 species took their seats with the weight of history on their shoulders. Every being in the chamber knew this vote would change everything. Speaker's Rix called the session to order. His mandibles clicked with nervous energy. We vote today on the human terms. Reparations for past attacks. Military oversight of operations near human space. Full coalition protection for human colonies. All in favor will signal now. The voting display lit up. Green lights appeared one by one. The Minara voted yes. The Presh voted yes. The Soltex voted yes. Species that had been victims of the same criminal networks Earth had destroyed voted yes. Red lights appeared too. The Kresh voted no. The Preservation Coalition voted no. Species loyal to the old power structure voted numbed or yellow lights marked those who abstained. Those too afraid to choose a side. Those waiting to see which way the wind blew. When the counting finished, the result was clear. 41 species voted yes. 24 voted no. 8 abstained. The measure passes, Rix announced. The human terms are accepted by coalition majority. Chancellor Gregory Palmer stood. Earth thanks the coalition for making the right choice. We look forward to building a better future together. The Kresh representative stood as well. This vote means nothing. We do not recognize human authority. We will not pay tribute to primitives. Tribute? Gregory's voice was cold. You call justice tribute? You funded raids that killed thousands of innocent humans. You armed criminals. You provided intelligence to murderers. And you think paying reparations is tribute? We will not pay, the Kresh representative repeated. What will you do? Attack our homeworld? Start a war? No, Gregory said simply. We will do something worse. We will make you irrelevant. Over the next 6 weeks, Earth demonstrated what that meant. Human trade ships bypassed Kresh space completely. Human technology companies refused to share innovations with Kresh firms. Human military forces established protection zones around species that allied with Earth, making Kresh influence unnecessary. Most devastating of all, 18 species formally requested that Earth mediate their disputes instead of Kresh arbitrators. The Kresh had spent centuries positioning themselves as the coalition's wise elder species. In 6 weeks, humanity replaced them. Fleet Admiral Dennis Crawford oversaw the new security arrangements from Earth Command. Human patrol ships now flew regular routes through friendly coalition space. They were visible, armed, and professional. Reports from all sectors are positive, said his aide. No pirate activity in protected zones, no raids, no attacks. Crime rates in protected systems have dropped 70%. And the Preservation Coalition? Dennis asked, falling apart. 3 of their member species have quietly approached us about switching sides. The Kresh are alone except for their most loyal allies. Dennis nodded. Keep the pressure steady but not aggressive. Let them come to the conclusion themselves. Fighting us is expensive and pointless. On the rebuilt Sanctuary Station, now humanity's official coalition embassy, Ambassador Sophie Chen met with representatives from 30 species. She was architecting the new coalition structure, building bridges between species that had never worked together before. The old system was based on fear and dominance, Sophie explained to a gathering of younger diplomats from various species. Strong species controlled weak ones. The Kresh controlled most decisions. Dissent was discouraged. That system created the environment where attacks on humanity were allowed to continue. And the new system? Asked a Manara diplomat. Partnership. Mutual defense. Fair trade. Species work together because it benefits everyone, not because they fear the consequences of refusal. Sophie pulled up economic data. Look at the results. Species that allied with Earth early have seen economic growth of 15%. Trade routes are safer. Technology sharing has accelerated. Everyone benefits. Except the Kresh, noted a Kresh diplomat. The Kresh benefit too if they choose to participate, Sophie said, but they cannot lead anymore. Leadership requires trust, and they broke that trust. They can be partners or they can be isolationists. That choice is theirs. In Kresh space, the government was indeed making that choice. President Martin Blake of Earth had sent them a private message. The contents were simple and devastating. You have 30 days to begin reparations payments. If you refuse, Earth will release all evidence of Kresh crimes to every public network in the galaxy. Every bribe, every secret deal, every innocent being killed because of your manipulation. Your population will see what their leaders really are. The Kresh military command met in emergency session. Half wanted to fight, half wanted to negotiate. The argument raged for days. Finally, the civilian government made the decision. They would pay. Quietly, without admitting fault publicly, but they would pay. The first reparations transfer arrived at Earth's central bank 4 weeks after the vote. 18 trillion credits spread across thousands of human families who had lost loved ones in the attacks. It would not bring back the dead, but it was acknowledgement. It was justice. Captain Daniel Price stood in the rebuilt memorial garden on Sanctuary Station. Names of the dead covered the walls, 4,000 from New Haven, hundreds more from other attacks. Each name represented a life cut short by violence that could have been prevented. Maya Brooks joined him. The last Kresh payment cleared yesterday. All reparations are complete. Good, Daniel said quietly. What about the Vrexians? Their new government has requested formal peace talks. They want to establish trade relations. Apparently, having their military completely defeated convinced them that cooperation is better than conflict. Daniel smiled slightly. Amazing how attitude changes when you cannot win a fight. The memorial dedication is tomorrow, Maya said. 50 species are sending representatives, even some from the Preservation Coalition. They want to be seen as respectful, Daniel observed. Politics never changes. But power does, Maya replied. 6 months ago, humans were the weakest species in the coalition. Today, we are the strongest. And we got here by being exactly what they feared. Persistent, clever, and unwilling to accept injustice. The memorial dedication drew the largest gathering Sanctuary Station had ever seen. Representatives from across the galaxy came to honor the human dead. Some came from genuine respect. Others came because refusing would have been politically dangerous. Captain Daniel Price gave the main speech. He stood before the wall of names and spoke simply. These people died because the galaxy believed humanity did not deserve protection. They died because other species saw us as dangerous primitives unworthy of basic rights. They died because we chose to prove our civilization through restraint rather than violence. He paused, letting the words sink in. We did eventually respond with violence. We defeated our enemies. We dismantled criminal networks. We showed the galaxy that human restraint was a choice, not a weakness. But we would trade all of that strength to have these people back. The crowd was silent. Daniel continued. The phrase that started this was simple. Stop attacking or we will stop being polite. The galaxy laughed. They thought it was an empty threat. They learned otherwise. But here is the truth. We are still being polite. We could have destroyed our enemies. We chose not to. We could have ruled the coalition through fear. We chose not to. We could have become the monsters they feared. We chose not to. He looked directly at the Kresh representative in the crowd. We choose to be civilized every day. We choose to show mercy. We choose to build rather than destroy, but never mistake those choices for weakness. Never forget what happens when you push humanity too far. The dedication ended with a moment of silence. Every species bowed their heads or showed their equivalent respect. The message was received, months passed. The galaxy settled into its new reality. Human ships patrolled trade routes. Human diplomats mediated disputes. Human engineers shared technology. Human doctors treated anyone who needed help. The Vrexian government signed a comprehensive peace treaty with Earth. The Kresh began participating in coalition activities again, though their dominance was forever broken. The Preservation Coalition dissolved as its members realized cooperation with humanity was more profitable than opposition. A new alien species entered coalition space. They were the Delthan, explorers from a distant region. They knew nothing of recent events. Their representative arrived at Sanctuary Station and was briefed by a Minara diplomat. "You will want to establish good relations with humanity," the Minara explained. "They are the coalition's dominant military power and a major economic force." "Are they aggressive?" the Delthan asked. "Should we be concerned?" The Minara thought carefully before answering. "Humans are complicated. They can be the most compassionate species you will ever meet, or the most dangerous. It depends entirely on how you treat them." "How should we treat them?" the Delthan asked. "With respect, with honesty, and never test their patience. There is a saying in the coalition now, humans are polite. Pray they stay that way." The Delthan representative met with Captain Daniel Price the next day. The meeting was friendly, productive, the beginning of another alliance. As the Delthan left, Daniel looked out at the station's observation windows. Human ships passed by in regular patrols. The stars were peaceful.